Hi everyone, welcome back to Almost Inevitable Tutorials. My name is still PK, and in this video I'm going to have a first look at Breakdance version 2.0. Technically, it's not a first look. I've had to install it and start running it to be able to make this video, so I won't be reacting to it. It's more of a highlight of new features that I've noticed that matters more to me and this channel. My whole thing on this channel is making websites more efficiently while making the websites match the design proof, operating as a small to mid-sized digital agency, delivering client-safe websites, and UI UX design. This means time savers, clever methods, good UI, good workflows, reliable software, and CSS are what I'm interested in. I also run a digital design agency, so I'm totally living the life that I'm preaching, and all this comes from my personal experience. Okay, so what does all that have to do with the new Breakdance? Well, I think whenever anybody reviews a product, it's important to understand the context of where they're coming from, because all reviews are biased. If somebody is telling you that their review is unbiased, they're either straight up lying or they're wrong about themselves. All reviews are biased because whatever is mentioned and included in the review has gone through a filter. Some things that are more important to someone might not be important to someone else. Now that you understand that, let's get into it. As you can see, this WordPress installation is running Breakdance 2.0 Alpha. So to start off, thank you to the Breakdance team for a chance at this, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Please note, these are not the full list of features. I'm picking the ones I especially like. Okay, so before, when you wanted to add extra styles to, let's say for example, here I have a section selected, you can go in here and you can add whatever you need, right? Like these guys. And here you have the styles tab, and you have the more advanced tab here, which has more comprehensive styles. You could have searched directly here, like margin, for example. Or you could have pressed this and then go into margin. You'll get more comprehensive styles, right? Now we don't need to do that. What we can do now is we can actually have that section selected and then just press F, and you can see the cursor moves directly over there, and you can type in there directly. Or you can try something else, like for example, Shift F gives us the gear cog selected while searching. So now you get that directly. So if you want to access a style, a comprehensive style that's hidden in behind the gear cog here in the advanced tab, you can actually just go Shift F and then put in whatever you want, like that. So that is just great. That is, I really like that. That's one of the things that I've always been asking for, and we have that in version 2. Also, here's another thing that I really like. You have this selected, you have this section selected, and you type directly CSS, and you go here. So you can now actually, if you wanted to, I mean, you don't have to, but you can do that directly. Another thing that you can do, which I really like as well, I'll turn everything off so it's back to default. You can actually type CLA, and you can add a class. For example, section black. Something like that, right? And you can add that directly in here. And then another thing is you go, 1.7 already had this, but when you're typing in a class, you can add, after you press enter, you get to the next class directly, and you can add multiple classes like this. And you don't have to go back and forth between the keyboard and the mouse. See, good UI is basically making things as smooth and easy to use as possible. I really like how Breakdance does all this, because you press enter and then you go into, for example, in this case, the next class. So if you want to enter, for example, 5 classes to a specific element, Breakdance, you type enter, type enter, type enter. Your hand never leaves the keyboard, right? But if on other builders, you have to type, click, and then type, and then click. That means your hand's moving too much. That's not very good UI. That's sort of clunky compared to what Breakdance is doing. So for me, I think this is the right approach. Typing and then clicking enter. So let's say, yeah, sure, why not? Look at that, right? So that is good UI. Here's another thing that some of you might not know about, but if you add something, add an element inside, for example, a section like this, if you click on that little caret there, caret as in C-A-R-E-T, caret, what you can do is you can actually go to the element, the parent element, right? So you're in heading, and then you click on that, you go up to section. But you don't have to do that anymore because now Shift Escape, you go there directly. And then, for example, if you want to add CSS, you go to CSS, and then you can add whatever you want. I don't know, just keep adding background color. I don't know, right? So you can do that directly while on the keyboard, and you don't have to go back and forth. That's, again, like I keep saying, that's really good UI. So let's say I loaded a layout from Samba. So let's say, for example, I'm here and I need to add a class to this. So CLA gives me the class. I can add, MN is Major Neon, that's my agency. Let's say, for example, heading H2, for example. There we go. This is already probably H2, but if you wanted extra styles for that, that's how you can do it, right? And then if you want to go to the parent element, you have that, and you Shift Escape, and you go to the parent element. You can directly add CSS in there, like this, and I keep doing background color. If I can type it, this is not my regular keyboard. I'm using a quieter keyboard because I've had people say that my clicking is too loud. So this is a low profile, softer keyboard. Anyways, yeah, so do that. Let's not use red. It's, yeah, light gray is fine. So there you go. And this is all done on the keyboard, which makes it so much easier for anybody to actually do things without going back and forth on the keyboard and the mouse. So all you need to remember is Command ? So that's Command or Control ? If you're on Windows. Command Shift, so the Shift with the backspace, not backspace, backslash gives you the question mark. So that's what you do. And there you go, right? And of course also the modified, like that shows you everything that's modified. And if you do that, you can do that, and it gives you Command I, gives you all the modified ones as well. There's a whole other set of UI features that help people speed up their development. For example, I'm going to start by adding another section. Let's try this one. And there you go. All right, now, if you click, so you see spacing, right? Now, let's say, for example, I want to take the spacing and make it 8 rem and 8 rem on this side as well, right? So this is 8 rem, this is 120 pixels. So this guy is 120 pixel padding, this guy is 8 rem padding. We want to make them both 8 rem. So I right click on spacing, and I can copy that, and I can add that into this spacing like that. And you see that little jump there because now it's 8 rem. So you can actually take a whole, like one of these accordion tabs, you can take that and actually copy that out. As you can see, you can copy the background from here. For example, if you're here at the background, copy that. You can paste that in here as well. Okay, in terms of copy pasting, what you can also do is you can actually copy paste from between sites, and you can copy paste multiple layouts, multiple sections like this. Here's what so for example, you can actually now click on that little 3-dot thing, and you can copy all elements, right? And you can, for example, this is a new website, different website, because this is Dance Break. As you can see, this is Breakdance 2 preview. This is Dance Break, so it's a different installation. And what you can do here is you can actually go in and you can paste all that. And there you go. Pretty easy, right? And you can do that on your own site or between websites, so it works everywhere. You can copy paste multiple layouts like this, and not use because in 1.7 we used to actually have a design set and then load it from there, but you don't have to do that anymore. You can just copy paste directly between websites like this. Okay, so this is a little more advanced, but one thing that I really like about the new UI considering conditions is that you can actually search for them and you get autocomplete. So as opposed to scrolling down, you can actually type in stuff like that and you get the autocomplete. So for example, if you want to do logged in, you can do a logged in status like that and it works. Okay. So conditions have gotten a lot easier to go through and search and find the right one that you need. So that's great. There are some new elements. And that would be the pulse button and the pulse dot. That is the content reveal and a badge. They're useful. It's not necessarily what I always need or look for, but if you see this and if it helps reduce your time developing things, it's great. So let's look at the pulse dot. You can add a pulse dot there. Let's make it a, yeah, no. Cool. I like that. That's the one that I like from the new ones. Oh, and of course, the content reveal, right? So reveal, there we go, content reveal. Now this is very useful because you can actually connect this to an ACF field, and then for people like when they're making bios, for example, they use this a lot because not everybody's bio needs to be showing everywhere. So this will help a lot. And of course, like I said, you can connect that to ACF and that will work great. If you want to learn more about ACF and how to make full-fledged layouts using that and stuff, check out my channel. There's a few things on ACF that I show there, and also my courses. I talk a lot about ACF integrating with Breakdance. So have a look at that. But this is actually very useful and it will help a lot for people when they're making some kind of layouts where this is needed, and this happens quite often. So you can go through height or you can go through lines. All right, so maybe we want this to be 6 lines, right? And then hide it from there. That's very useful, right? So another element that I think is very useful. Also, they have a thing called badges now. And where'd it go? Let's put that up there. Yeah. So this badge, you can actually change the background. So it gives you like a little, well, it's a badge. It gives you a little bit of an easier way to make little things like that. So that's another thing that you might want to play around with, because if it reduces time and if it gives you the features that you need during less time in an easier way, that's helpful, right? Just imported a couple of sections for this, imported the global settings, so it looks good. Add a header, right? Header builder, logo. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Menu, like that. With the header builder, there are things that you can do, such as sticky. Now, if you click on sticky, you can see that it just shifts up because it is showing CSS fixed position. It's taken out of the document flow and it just puts itself onto the top of the window, the viewport. So this is great, but sometimes the content gets pushed up behind it and people get annoyed at that. So what you can do is you can either add extra CSS to make the first section after the header builder always have that extra margin on top and stuff, or you can now add page top margin, like for example 5 rem. So now you have that little space there and the first section has been pushed down right underneath, and you get to actually see the full section. Another thing that you can do is, if we don't have that, we can actually give the header an offset. So for example, if we do this, then it gets pushed down by 1 rem. Now, if we're scrolling and it's sticky, you still get that little section there. So what we can do is we can actually go to scroll behavior and then offset after scroll as 0. So now there's an offset here and then it goes away when you're doing that, right? So what you can do with this, for example, is you can add a section and add, let's add a section here. Background color of purple. Sure. There we go. Why not? Let's add let's add text here. Hello, contact me. Take out all the padding. So we'll go to padding and we'll give it 0. 0. You know what? It should actually be like 10 pixels. 10 pixels. All right. And we'll give this an actual offset. Let's see, something like that. Maybe 2.75 or 2.7, 2.6. No, 2.6. There we go. That's a little better, right? Okay, so now you can see that the header builder, so you can see better. Yeah, the header builder, the header is offset from the top, and then when you scroll, it goes back up to the top, and that goes away. So this is great for websites where you have like social media buttons on top, or text like this, like email, phone numbers, and stuff like that. So that's really useful. That's pretty cool. Next up, let's have a look at menu custom areas. So here we are in the menu builder. You have menu custom area here. You can add that. So we can drop whatever we want in here. Probably the most commonly used usage for this could be search. All right, so we can add a search form or a pulse dot. For example, let's add something like search, and that's there, right? So from the search form, we're gonna go up one step. So that would be Shift Escape, and you go to the menu custom area, right? And then in visibility, you can hide it in the mobile menu, right? So now if you go to mobile menu, it's not there. So on mobile, so you don't see that here, on mobile, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another menu custom area like this. So now you can add a lot of other things. For example, we can add buttons. We'll add 2 buttons, and then we'll add another search. Oh, okay, no, don't do that. Add a search form like that. Now these are 3 layout, 3 elements here. Let's give them space between like that, and yeah, that's not bad. The container could actually have a little bit of padding, so we'll give that 1 rem on top and 1 rem on bottom, and there you go. So now it looks like, oh yeah, this needs to be hidden on desktop. There we go. Okay, so you have this, and then on mobile we have this. Not bad, right? Of course you can add your paddings and stuff, do that, but that's how you can do, that's how you can make different menu areas. So that's another really cool thing that a lot of people have been asking and struggling with. So I think this is a really good addition to making better websites for their clients. Okay, another thing that I'm pretty sure a lot of people will really enjoy using is what is called element presets. Now, you've seen this before while I was going through all the other features, but I've never mentioned this until now, right? So here, what you can do is you can create a design preset. All right, so I've already done this as a sample, but I'm gonna make a new one, okay? And this will be called new one. Let's go with edit. Yeah, now we can, for example, change the button to, oh, I can't see that at all. There we go, primary. And maybe in the container, give it a background of that color. No, that's not a good color. That's, oh well, that color. You can't see that well, can you? How about that? And let's make the text white. Okay, that's a little better, right? So that's fine. That's all good. Now the problem is, how do we make these guys have the same design style, right? So let's go to image box here, and we're gonna add new one, and there you go, all done. We can make this a new one as well, and that will work on everything, right? So for example, let's try something else. I'm gonna save that, of course. So let's try something else. These guys are in columns. I'll duplicate that column so we'll have more of these. And the bottom of this column should probably have a little bit of space, so we'll give that one rim. I'm sure that's enough. Maybe two rim. All right, there we go. So we have this. Now let's say, for example, we want this to be different. What we can do is, because we can decouple it like this, you detach the styles, and there you go. It inherits it and it stays, but now you can edit this just a little bit just so you can have a different style for this guy. For example, the background, we'll make this background pink, and the title text here, we'll make that white as well. All right, and there you go. Being consistent across the board, a lot easier, because now you have your design presets like this. And of course, anytime you want to edit it, right? All right, and it tells you that I'm not selecting, this is not selected yet, but it's better if it's selected, which is what it's trying to tell me. But let's say, for example, we change the background and they all change, which is very cool. And this will be not on just this one page, it'll be across the whole website, and that makes everything a lot easier for anybody to be working on, and it will keep things consistent. I think this is a really, really nice addition, and it does its job so well. So another thing that Breakdance version 2.0 is coming out with, and I really like this a lot because it solves a lot of problems for agency owners, is migration mode. And you might have seen this when I first started the video, but what migration mode does, and it's hard to show this on a local host, but what it does is, if you activate it, it keeps Breakdance visible only for people visiting from a certain IP address, like this. So that IP address will see Breakdance and everything that Breakdance is doing to edit the content. So other users who are not on those IP addresses will be seeing the original website and the original content that was there until you're ready to switch over. So you can build in Breakdance and while keeping the old website there. So it'll be great for people who need live redesigns, and you can actually do it on the website while, for example, the website that you're working on is taking orders, publishing blog posts, and getting new users to sign up. Everything is there. The content is still there. You're working on Breakdance, and when you're ready, you just switch over the front end and it'll switch over to Breakdance. And I think that is such a great feature that I don't think any other builder has done. I mean, there are other migration, like Test My Theme is another plugin that will do that, that will allow you to test extra themes, and you can work on it in the meantime. For example, Theme Preview can do that sometimes, depending on how much customization you want. But this is full on few IP addresses that can use Breakdance fully until you're ready to switch over. And I think that is a great new little add-on for all the agency owners. So that is awesome. So there you have it, a handful of great new features that I think is awesome for version 2. I haven't even gone over everything, like alphabetic order for the filter buttons. I know a lot of people have been asking for that, and Breakdance version 2 has it now. I'll be going over more things in future videos, so please keep an eye out for them. Please like, subscribe, and if you want to check out Breakdance yourself and purchase it, I have an affiliate link below, so click on that to help support the channel. Thanks to everyone, and I'll see you in another video.